hello. You're probably not expecting to see me, probably don't remember me, or have no idea who I am at all. But to those who do know me, I'm back. You're probably shocked about the face cam, I imagine. I am myself. The truth is, I felt like doing a face cam just because it feels different, more personal, more impactful. And also, I felt like it'd be way easier to record myself saying all this because I have a lot to say the least. But 2025 was supposed to be a year for me to basically pop off, and then the exact opposite happened. I ended up disappearing off the face of the damn earth, which in my point of view, time kind of just started flying, because like, I can't believe that my last upload is 11 months ago. And I'm not fully sure what happened either. I don't know if it was university that took all my time, which doesn't really make sense because I had all the time in the world. I was kind of slacking off, not working, and doing all of my assignments last minute. And I also know I didn't lose interest in YouTube itself because I really enjoyed that creative process of just uploading videos and seeing the views, the comments, the support. All of it was so fun. So I know I didn't lose interest in that either. I think the best way to describe what happened last year was that I forgot about animating, forgot about YouTube, and then just kind of time started flying by. And we're here now. Interestingly enough, what I always told people when they asked me why I no longer animate, after I showed them my YouTube channel, I just told them that I got better at animation. Since I became better, I became more of a perfectionist, and things started taking longer and longer to do. But that doesn't make sense because that implies that I was animating in the first place, which I wasn't. But enough rambling. I want to talk about what I have planned for 2026. This time, I'm locking in, and if I don't, I'm deleting my channel off of the face of... So, my new goal is to get either 4,000 or 3,000 watch hours, which is very hard to do considering that I'm an animation channel, but I think I'm no longer going to do one animation every week because we saw how that worked out. Instead, I'll try to do one video every month, which, yes, is only 12 videos in a year, but all those animations won't just be like 15 to 30 seconds work in progress like I always do. Like faithfully, religiously do. Because at this point, it seems to be my second language to just post work in progresses. Like, the video that I do end up posting each month will be 5 minutes long. And I also won't be limiting myself to one upload a month because I have a lot of other things planned, as I will get to in this video. So think of it as one 5-minute animation per month, plus extra stuff. And speaking of all this animation stuff, it's a perfect segue for me to talk about stick. So I plan on going back and finishing all of my work in progresses because a lot of them are really good. And a lot of them perform like really well, even though they're just work in progresses. For example, Kusarigama demo is surprisingly a very performative video. It was just like a board. I got bored and I made it, and it was really well, but I enjoyed doing that stuff. So basically all of those old work in progresses, I feel like they have unfulfilled or unseen potential. I kind of want to go back to those and just finish all of them. Because sometimes I just like rewatch my videos and like I feel a sense, urge just to animate. I feel very proud of what I've done. And then I feel sad because I never finished it and I last worked on it like, what, a year ago, 2 years ago? A lot of projects are like that. And since you made it far into this YouTube video, I shall reward you with what I actually plan on animating and making this year around. The animation I'm working on this January is going to be finishing that Spartan animation I did long ago, which is coming along so-so. I'm actually struggling making 5 minutes because I realized that how fast-paced I animate and there's no breaks between my thing. It's just action, action, action. But I'll figure it out. In February though, I have a really big, really ambitious Tekken animation that I really am looking forward to. It probably will be the best thing I've ever made if I actually end up doing it and finishing it, but I have to get there first, so I'm gonna stop hyping myself about it. But otherwise, here's some more animations that I have just in the think tank that are waiting to go eventually. And also, if you want, you can comment what you do and don't want to see that's in or not in the list, because I'm open for ideas always. And on top of making animations, in the background, I've also been using stick notes to dabble in games. So I realized that I want to create a lot more games, and I want to finish a lot of the unfinished games that I do have, which include arcade fighters, of course, but there's also a bunch of games that you don't know about. And fun fact, you can play them right now, but don't expect anything that are literally unfinished. But in the digital arts university degree that I'm taking, we are learning game development with Unity in a group of 3. And fun fact, this third year, we're not going to be solo developers. So basically back to Arcade Fighter shenanigans, except my marks are on the line. But as for the games that we've already made in Unity, in semester 1 we had to make 2D games. And for our game, we made a game called The Bogs Woods. A top-down 2D pixel actual adventure game set in a fantastical forest where a sister and her brother, who's been turned into a monkey, try to escape. We were very ambitious about this game, and we had like a great artist, 2 great programmers, me included, working on the game. But we feature creeped so much, we did not make the deadline, so we had a really polished, really good game that all of a sudden just cuts off. And then out of the trauma that we went through of submitting an exam, not knowing if we passed or failed despite of putting our backs into the game, we actually never worked on the game ever again. But the game does have so much potential. If you play it now, you can feel it. You can feel the bones are there. And we actually want to get about to finish it. In semester 2, we had to make 3D games, and our group decided to make a game called Marionette. A first-person escape room puzzle game that features an NPC companion that helps you escape. You've been kidnapped by a toy maker and put into his workshop, and you find out that you return to the mechanical toy, and you try to get out ASAP. This game wasn't as ambitious as our first because the trauma from semester 1 still existed. And the game is still solid. We still want to finish it. And the biggest of unfinished games that I've been working on, Arcade. With Arcade Fighters, I don't know. It's a project that I really don't want to die. It's very special to me. But as I've grown working on Arcade Fighters, I've just started realizing that it's a huge scope for one person to just do and one person to handle alone. Not really one, I still have SLP as a developer, but both of us have been hiatus basically. You know, and a part of me doesn't want to cancel Arcade Fighters because it matters to me a lot. But another part of me just knows that at its current stage, continuing at full force would mean sinking years upon years of time just to make a game that's okay at best, if we're honestly speaking. So here's where I'm at. I'm not ending Arcade Fighters, it's not dead, but I am stepping away from it for a while. It's on pause. It's not buried, it's just hibernating. And with that out of the way, I would like to talk about the future planned games. As some of you know, I have been programming with Arcade Fighters and making 3D content in Unreal Engine, but as of doing my degree in digital arts and game design, we've been introduced to Unity, which has been showing me flames by the way, and I actually hate it, but I've been giving it a second shot because our department doesn't allow us to use plugins and things like that. And in my own time, I looked into Godot, but I haven't done anything yet, so expect nothing. You know, and I feel like Unreal Engine is very heavyweight for making stick nodes or 2D games in general. I also have the same sentiment for Arcade Fighters, but I'm too deep, so we gotta finish it there. So with all the knowledge that I have learned from all the game developing I've done, I've had so many ideas for different types of games. I'll just be lying down and just think of an amazing game concept out of nowhere, and I just write it down in Obsidian. I don't know if you know what Obsidian is. If you don't, look into it, it's pretty cool. But I think I really want to make games and make devlogs for them. Like, it's something I see myself doing. I don't know how, but I want to. Because, you know, for those people who may be interested in the process behind the game dev, or maybe those people who want to learn, you know, it's an easy way to share because, you know, game developers are cool, dog. And, you know, if you want to become a game developer, you work with me, huh? I pay you $0 an hour. How about these? But yeah, anyone who wants to just see game development or learn a thing or two can just like join me in the process of making those games. Because in all honesty, I'm not the best game developer. So with these devlogs, you'll basically just see my solution to problems in real time. And one thing that I have learned about working with Unreal Engine is that game development specifically, I always imagined it to be very free and just like limited to how much you can think or how much you could program. But I learned that there's so much limitations with game development. And honestly, like, all those limitations, they hinder creativity a lot, you know? So I think those devlogs would be like a nice way to show me overcoming those hurdles. As for the games that I do have planned, here they are. First, stick node shooting game is making a return, except I have to rebuild it from scratch. This time in Unity, because I have no idea what happened to the Unreal Engine project. It's just gone. No, not in OneDrive. It's just gone. I don't know. But also, I think Unity is more suited and more capable for handling a project, because I wanted to do kind of ragdolls and just kind of fluid animation, skeletal-based animations, if you know what that is. Basically, stick-built animation with Unity. You know, I wanted to make a 2D shooter that has the same feel of Laden Sky, like gore system-wise, you know, but same feeling also as People's Playground, just kind of that. You feel the stabs and the shots. I'm not crazy, not at all. And I also still want like smooth, gun-fu-esque, Milsim type of gameplay, like a gun nerd type of stuff, you know, with when you reload and there'll be magazine-based reloading, so you can waste ammo, you know, that cool stuff. Also, I don't want to spend my time on each game. I'll talk more about them in the devlogs if it ends up happening. So the next game I have in mind is a one-finger Death Punch inspired game. I don't know what to call it yet. I think it's Death Punch Genesis, because I'm great at naming, for real. And that one will be made in Godot. And the last game that I have in store is a Sticknode's fan remake of Iron Snap. It's more like a spiritual successor with new features. And also, as for Rhythmic Beat, I'm not sure what to do with that, because the idea was really cool. The game was coming along well, but I also lost all the files for that. I don't even know. I don't even remember losing them. They just don't exist. I don't know what to tell you. But I guess it's another opportunity to start it in YouTube. You know, and speaking of all these devlogs and stuff I want to do, I kind of want to talk about I have this urge to create like just a lot of things, but I'm concerned about putting it all on one channel. It'll feel like cluttering it and just spamming it with content that's not relevant or congruent with each other, because all of them are technically different mediums or different topics, be it like 3D, 2D, game development, etc. And you know, I'm thinking, what if someone who subscribed for Sticknode's animation, they're now seeing these devlogs, or they're seeing this 3D animation, and they're like, what the hell, man? Who is this guy? And I'm not really sure how those dynamics will work out. And also, please tell me in the comments how you feel about this. If you prefer everything in one channel or different, you know? I've been thinking about just making different channels with the same theme. Mzate Chikobo Game Dev and Mzate Chikobo 3D, maybe Mzate Chikobo Gaming, you never know. You know? But maybe I'll just branch out if I get bigger as a channel, you know what I'm saying? It wouldn't make sense to. And speaking of branching out, I remember back in the day having this, you know, extravagant, lavish, well-designed Discord server. It was active and like it felt alive. And then I kind of checked my Discord server today and I was thinking, what the hell is this? Like, no wonder it's dead, inactive, and like bland, unfinished, and it's basically unused. And yeah, it's my fault for all of that. And I will very much regret it getting that stage. It's like 30 members only. One active member and like 5 lurkers, I imagine. So this may be the 3rd time that I'm doing this, but I want to remaster and revive my Discord server. And the Mudaybot may be a reason for like wanting to make the server, because I really like rolling and hoarding characters. So if you want to join just for a day, you know what I'm saying, like but honestly, I just want a place to hang out with like-minded people, just to chill. And not just random people, but I mean people who actually just make things like art, music, you know, animations, games, whatever. A space where you can just kind of chill, share projects, ask for help, ideas, and critique each other. Just vibing, you know. And maybe I myself can probably help people on the way and share the things that I know. You know, share resources, share feedback, that type of stuff. You know, I just thought that kind of thing would be pretty cool. Alright, so these are just some closing thoughts. I'm probably not going to use much of a face cam in future videos. It's not really a good point. I feel like maybe slowly just turning into a VTuber-esque style, except I'm not going to animate the mouth because that's a nightmare. I tried it already. It did not work. Check it out.
Hey man, you want to eat this cake with me?
Fuck it, let's do it.
Whoa man, what do you mean?
Yeah, fuck.
Which is why you've never seen that video, it's sitting in limbo. And I feel like many people are probably still traumatized from seeing my face and voice at the same time in this video right now. And another fun fact is I actually have a version of my OC designed based on my real life appearance by the Gold Makato. He's one of my closest friends and like what one of like the best animators that I know, and I dig with this design a lot. Maybe you'll see in the future if I can start being creative again, because normally anything involving my OC, I'm just so uncreative with. I don't even have a name for him or lore for him, and to be honest, I like the dark version of my OC more than the bright version. He just has so much aura. You can feel it through the screen. His eyes are red. And the last thing I want to talk about is I actually have a big concern, and I've been wondering if animation even has its place in 2026, or more so stick notes specifically. And I'm also worried that my channel is just kind of dead, which I guess is a negative way of looking at things, because I'm almost on 3K subscribers and I've not been uploading at all, which I'm very thankful for, by the way. I should mention that. But I guess that's just how life goes. People grow up, interests change. And so, thank you for listening to my rambling and yapping, and I wish you a very good and productive 2026. Fun fact, I don't know if you've noticed, but the sky has probably been getting progressively darker as I've been recording this video. I started at 6:30 and now it's 7.